Welcome to Ravens Over. Please go to my channel, also hit the notification bell, like this video, and share. I want to know why nobody's talking about Tonya Harvey, 35 years old, a transgender woman that was murdered back in Buffalo. And it seems like it's becoming into a cold case and stuff. And no one's talking about it. Was it a love story that went bad or something really went bad? No one is talking about it. It's like it's going on to deaf ears. I am very much in concern why we're no longer talking about Tonya Harvey. Share this video everywhere you can. Subscribe. Let's get some answers. Why we're not talking about this girl. Hey sister, let me talk to you. I told these guys on the corner, that girl over there is trans too. I even laughed. I thought they would too. Then I said, oh shit. They ran towards her too. And they killed her. Oh sister. Hey sister. I'm crying now. I helped put a black transgender woman in the ground. Oh, I'm so sorry. What would be here? Her name was Tonya Harvey. 35 years old, and I want to share a story about her life. Now, in case you don't know, this story is being reported back of November the 20th, 2018. Tonya Harvey is the third known trans person to be killed in that year. Tonya Harvey, 35 years old, was shot and killed in Brooklyn, New York on Tuesday. She was the third trans person to be killed this year on that later time. Now, the Brooklyn News stated that the shooting occurred on Shepard Street on Tuesday. Police initially identified the victim as Mel. She looks nothing like Mel. But the newspaper corrected identity, identified as Tonya Harvey. The news report published that Thursday. The Cato's first person for Erie County District Attorney Office said that they have not released the victim's name. Of course, they released it as of then, and it's stating that the Erie County District Attorney Office, along with Buffalo Police, is investigating the death of a transgender woman killed on Shepard Street. Now, the spokesperson said the press statement said that the office is also extremely concerned about the spike in the homicides of transgender people across the country and will do its part as far as investigating, looking into the whether or not it was a potential hate crime. Buffalo Police spokesperson Michael said that the victim was shot at 5:30 p.m. on a Tuesday and declared dead at the scene. It was the city's first confirmed homicide of that year. Michael did not immediately respond to the request of comment. Now, of course, it said at least a lot more trans women has been killed. Now, I want to share something else with you. Someone known something, my personal opinion, that knew her and she felt comfortable around. So, I want to share something else. More information stating that a year after her death, Tonya Harvey's family rallies for trans protection. This is reported back in February 18, 2019. A mother is looking for answer 1 year after her daughter unsolved murder. Tonya Harvey was shot and killed last February the 6th on Shepard Street in Buffalo. The case received national attention because she was the third transgender person to be killed and murdered across the country just 1 month in 2018. 1 year later, after rally was held on the steps of City Hall demanding justice for Harvey and respect the transgender lives. There is still no justice. We want justice. Our community is not safe. We are not safe. We are asking for justice, said. And that's the Harvey, Tonya's mother. Members of her family and transgender advocates believe it was a hate crime, saying she was targeted because she was transgender. Now, I believe she was targeted because she was trans. I also believe that she know who killed her. We're talking about 5:30. She's in Buffalo at 5:30 p.m. Buffalo, New York. And the person who killed her sitting back there saying, well, they letting this go away. Ain't nobody saying nothing. And I just don't understand how. Now, I reported this case back when it happened. But I want to bring it up again. Because for some reason, whoever killed her is getting away with it. Because no one's talking about it. And I just brought it up today. 5/31/20. And I want to know why we're not talking about this girl being murdered. Why hasn't her case been solved? If no one is complaining about it, anybody gonna do nothing about it? It's an old saying goes, just keep your mouth shut and the people will go away. But for you, Tonya Harvey, 35 years old, we ain't going away. We're gonna shake this up a little bit. I want y'all to share this video where you can. We want to make this resurface because it's going to hit the killer's desk. Trust and believe it will. And if we create such an outpour in unity, they're going to start digging. Because somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. This girl went to this location. She felt safe. They need to check phone records. They need to check cell phone records. They need to check a lot of things. But I don't believe they're doing a whole full search. However, I do want to share with you what her mother had to say with the rally and stuff. And as far as me doing a lot of digging, check this out.
A mother is looking for answers 1 year after her daughter's unsolved murder. Tonya Harvey was murdered last February 6 on Shepard Street in Buffalo. The case received national attention because she was the third transgender person to be murdered across the country just 1 month into 2018. 1 year later, another rally was held on the steps of City Hall, demanding justice for Harvey and respect for transgender lives.
There's still no justice. We want justice. Our community's not safe. We're not safe. So we're asking for justice.
Members of her family and transgender advocates believe it was a hate crime, saying she was targeted for being transgender.
Okay, and to the men that are attracted to trans women, if you see one walking down the street, you feel like she owes you a reason why she could walk down the street. You feel like you need to kill her. You don't understand what she's going through her life. Because for some reason you like to play God. I want to share something with you. Because she's a real person with real feelings. Below are transgender people that have been killed in 2018. As we know of, Regina Denise Brown, 53 years old. She was killed in South Carolina, Orangeburg. Keena Mattel, Detroit, Michigan, 35 years old. Tidy Dansbury, Baltimore, Maryland, 37 years old. Sierra Minaj Carter, Chicago, Illinois, 31 years old. Nikki Janae Eswez, 20 years old, Texas. London Moore, 20 years old, Florida, Port Charlotte. Shanti Tucker, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 30 years old. Dijon Stanton, Chicago, Illinois, 24 years old. Batasha Bell, Louisiana, 18 years old. Sasha Garden, Atlanta, Florida, 27 years old. Keisha Wells, Cleveland, Ohio, in her 50s. Catalina Christina James, Jacksonville, Florida, 24 years old. Diamond Stephen, Mississippi, 39 years old. Anta Devon Sheraton English, 30 years old, Jacksonville, Florida. Nino Forson, Atlanta, Georgia, 36 years old. Carla Patricia Flores Pavon, Dallas, Texas, 26 years old. Sasha Wells, Chesterfield County, South Carolina, 29 years old. Amia Tyree, Louisiana, 28 years old. Felicia Michelle, 46 years old. Zachary Fry, 28 years old, New Mexico. Celine Walker, a trans woman, killed, Jacksonville, Florida. Tonya Harvey, Buffalo, New York, 35 years old. Krista Lee Steele Kanish, 42 years old, Massachusetts. Vicky Gerdez, she was killed in Los Angeles. And I'm going to tell you something. All these girls were murdered, and I do believe they know who they killed them. The same way I believe that somebody on that street where Tonya Harvey was at know exactly what happened and is not coming forth. I believe the killer knows exactly that they're getting away with murder, and as no one is talking about it, the case goes cold and they wait for it to go away. But as of today, I'm bringing up again 5/31/2020, and I want to share this with you as far as this is our life. Remember one thing, we don't owe you anything. We don't owe you an explanation. We're just living in our life, living in our truth. And for some reason, people feel as though we need to identify who we are, and in the same breath, they will refuse for that treatment to be unto them. If you ever imagine walking in a two-spirit woman or a two-spirit man's life, I'm going to give you an idea. Check this out.
The Bureau. Trans women are women. And then when someone finds out that they're trans women, then they're enraged, they're upset, and feel like they have something to prove, and then they want to harm that person. When they were just walking up the street trying to get home. This is a prime example of a story of someone just trying to get home and just walked up the wrong block at the wrong time.
I thought that they were just gonna kill me, and my first instincts was like very much to like appeal to these, you know, these people's like humanity and just logically, like, you know, like what are you doing? Like, what is this? Like, why are you doing this?
Media outlets are calling 2018 one of the deadliest years for the trans community. The Human Rights Campaign has recorded 22 deaths thus far. But advocates say the numbers don't tell the right story. It's more than an increase in violence. It's a sign trans people feel empowered to seek justice.
Every year there's like kind of like a report on, you know, how many deaths there were or whatever. And in the trans community, you know, we're very much aware of it because these are members of our community that are, you know, that we're not seeing anymore. People, or not people, trans women of color do not, you know, report a lot of this stuff because even in these places where we're supposed to be served and helped, we can endure, you know, just as much mistreatment. It makes it hard for us to even get the help we need.
Jasmine Infinity is a DJ and producer based in Brooklyn. She says a group of 10 people attacked her and 2 friends outside of a liquor store on June 10th, 2017. The incident left her in the hospital with a fractured jaw that had to be wired shut.
In the liquor store, they refused us service. Started, you know, making fun of us, calling us slurs like transformers and whatnot. And then one of the women who were in front of the store, like, came up to me and like smacked my phone out of my hand. That's when, like, all the men just like rushed me and, you know, attacked me and like punched me in the face and stuff. And the police were like, well, what are you guys doing around there? And like, what were you wearing? You know, literally the victim blaming like scenario, you know, it was like a culmination and an amalgamation of all of the things that trans people experience, right? So like people devaluing our work, people refusing us service, people, you know, thinking that basically that we're just disposable trash, that, you know, that we have no rights, that we have, you know, no claim to this earth or our existence.
Jose Gutierrez and Giselle Alicia are the leaders of the House of Extravaganza, a prominent group in the New York City ballroom scene. Its members have gathered for decades to compete in balls and create safe spaces for the LGBTQ community. Since it started in 1982, the House has lost multiple members to violence against the trans community. In May 2012, Lorena Extravaganza was found suffocated and burned in her Brooklyn apartment.
Lorena was a very sweet and very beloved individual. Everywhere she went, she had people that were just all over her. She was just an outstanding personality. So I don't know why somebody would even ever try to do that to her.
When it hits home, it's almost like surreal, and you think that it gets better, but it never does.
For this house, like, I really wish justice would be served. That's what I want, justice.
While many cases go unsolved, Lala Zanel is one of the people working to change that. She worked with Dolores Nettles after her daughter Alan died from injuries during the 2013 attack. James Dixon eventually pled guilty to the assault in 2016 and was sentenced to 12 years in prison.
She was young, someone who wasn't fooling anybody. Someone who was in school, someone who had her own apartment, which was getting her piece of the American pie, or the American dream as we call it, and was just trying to go home. And because he found a liking to her and tried to make sexual advances towards her, his friends laughed at him because of her being trans. He found a choice for him that he wanted to take her life. In that case, it was us, the community leaders, that continued to push that fight, which ended up helping us to get a conviction. It wasn't the conviction we wanted because it wasn't a hate crime, but still, we got a conviction.
The Anti-Violence Project also worked with Jasmine after she reported her attack. She says the nonprofit acted as a liaison with police and helped her get counseling.
Well, I think I'm just now, at 34 years old, having the time to even kind of heal from a lot of what I've had to endure. Like, I'm just DJing and producing like full time, so I have a lot of time to myself, to have a lot of time to like recover, to be surrounded by friends and community and family, and kind of create a bubble from the rest of the world. There's all of this backlash, towards my existence. It gives me more reason to, be more out there, to be more in people's face, to live my life, very visibly and very openly. What else am I gonna do?
Rest in peace, Tonya Harvey, and the mother and the family in my prayers. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Something is really suspicious here. Somebody killed her, is getting away with it, and they know it. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Something's really eerie about this house. And this vision right here, this picture I'm seeing, they know. Somebody in this area know exactly who killed her, or somebody around that area who killed her. So if you're the killer and you're watching this video, turn yourself in. Because God sees all things. And until you do right, there are going to be many losses in your life. God sees all things, and you know you need to turn yourself in and do the right thing. You did the wrong thing, now fix it and make it right. Make it right. This message is to you, you killer, because I know you watching this video, and you look at this girl, you know you murdered her. You look at her good. Because God sees all things. And everything you do is going to fail until you do the right thing and turn yourself in. Share this video where you can, my people. My soldiers, let's go on the hunt. Find out who killed her. Like I said before, subscribe to my channel. Tap this Instagram button. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. Let you, I love you. And thank you for watching. Catch the raid.